Hello, my name is Uwe Artmann. I'm the CTO of Image Engineering. Together with my colleague Kai Albers, I would like to introduce you to the IQ Analyzer X and some of the new features we introduced in the latest version. So let's jump in. This is what you see when you start the IQ Analyzer X. Here in the top row, that's where you start your analysis. We want to analyze a single image, so we go into the import dialog, open image files, and I just select a couple of image files here. So now, what chart does it show? This is sometimes difficult for users that have many different charts. So the IQ Analyzer X has an automatic feature, so it automatically decides what chart we see in the image and what chart file to use. So now I can just import and hit start. The software will now automatically detect for all images the features, the ROIs for the analysis, and will execute the analysis. In this example, we use a T42LL with a timing component. So that's a very versatile test chart where you have a lot of possibilities to analyze. So we see now our results from this test target, all SFR, as we have a cement star, a dead leaf, slanted edges, and so on. And I can just click here in my images to see the different results. If I want to go into deeper, here I just see the results from my dead leaves. And if I hover over, I see directly what pattern that is in my test target. And maybe I just want to have a look at low. So this is a low contrast dead leaves for that image. But how did the other images perform? So I can just select them here, and now I got all the results from 3 images into one plot. And I directly see the drop in texture loss of that device. I can nicely adjust also the user interface, so I can design it to my needs, and here go through the different results that I have for this particular device. For example, also my color representation, which I also can get in a 3D plot. And if I now quickly change between the images, I directly see how the device performed in terms of color. Another nice feature is that I can directly check the images. So let's go back here. So we found out that we have significant differences in the texture loss between the 3 images. So what I can do as well here, so I hover over and I see, this is a pattern where this was measured. So I just zoom in, and now I can also just see the pattern here, quickly change between that so that I can, for myself, make the correlation between the results and the image content. So the software comes with default settings where we think that these are useful. But of course, it might be that they do not work for you. So for the configuration, we have a lot of different options for the calculation that we can define. If you would like to modify that, we can quickly change that as new setting. So I say, okay, in color, I don't want to use a CIE 1976. I want to use CIE 2000. So I save that and say that is my demo setting. And I also have a field of description so that I remember what that was used for. So that at the end I don't have just setting 1, 2, 3, 4, but I really can remember what I have. So if I now want to make my analysis, I can select here between the default setting and my demo setting. So that makes it much easier for everyone that shares the analysis and that would like to do that, work with many different people, because this setting is also stored in the database. So if you work with multiple people and share one database, this setting is available for all other users as well. So now I have these nice results and I would like to use them to communicate them and to store them. So one thing I can do, I can save that to our database. So I also say this was a demo 1. The serial number of the device is 1, 2, 3, 4. And I just give it a short name and say demo sample 42. So now I can save that to the database so that it can be used by others, it can be recalled, and it can be, we can work on that in the future. But of course, maybe I want to have a report. So I can go here and export analysis. One thing I can export is as XML. So for further processing, for if you want to analyze it yourself, you use XML and can easily read that in with other scripts and programming languages. But you can also create a PDF. So I say I want to have everything here exported to a PDF. So it will create me my demo 1 report, which I can then, or will create that, that report with all data, all graphs that I just saw here, so that I have it at hand when I would like to create, or when I would like to communicate the results with partners or use that in my presentation. So after the report has been generated, I can just go here and check that PDF. So you see a nice layout where also the RIs are stored, where EXIF and metadata is stored, and all results that I would like to have so that I have them for my reference and can use them later on. Okay, so of course the software can analyze a huge variety of different test targets. So here I just open another file where I have an OECF image. I again can it finds the what chart it is, and it also gives me a warning that there is something in the reference data. So this chart needs an individual reference data, which is now also stored in the database and can be used can be used for the analysis. So I start a new analysis. Again, like previously, the software automatically detects the patches and then shows me the results that we have in this image. So it could happen that maybe there is something wrong, you tilted the image extremely, or your camera has some shows some artifact that causes troubles with the detection. So in that case, we can also go into the semi-automatic mode. So I start a new analysis now with the semi-automatic mode, and that will show me here all the patches that I have. And now I have a dialog where I could just adjust that to my needs. So particularly when you have cameras that are strongly distorted or introduce strong distortion, this can be extremely helpful so that I can really adjust the patches, and I can also save a template. So if I once did the work to adjust patches, so like here on the very dark, there is a patch which is well located as there is no structure anymore, but I might want to move it around. So I can also save that as a template and then work with that for the next patches. And then you see with these patches, I got my correction, and you see that here these RIs are now used, that I relocated here. No difference in the results, but optimized RIs. One item I would like to talk quickly about is the licensing. So you can go to our website and download the software, and you can use the free version. So you can download it, you can use it. It will have some limitations, as you see here, but you can already make analysis with the free version. If you decide to go for a professional license, the license management is done using a dongle. The dongle has a big benefit that you can share it with coworkers. So either by passing along a USB dongle, so you have 3 PCs, all have the IQ Analyzer installed, and you can run them one after another by just passing along the USB dongle. But you can as well have a network dongle so that it's connected to the local network, and then that will manage the amount of licenses that you have. So you can have your work laptop, you can have your travel laptop, you can have your lab PC, whatever hardware you use, and all your colleagues, so they can all have the IQ analyzer, but you have just the licenses that you need and you pass it along, so no limitation, no hassle with server setup and so on, so on. So that makes it very useful. And as said, there is a free version which is already quite powerful for your analysis. So with that said, I hand over to Kai Elbers, so he will show you some more features of the IQ Analyzer X.
Okay, thanks Uwe. My name is Kai Elbers. I'm application engineer at Image Engineering, and I'm going to walk you through the new features of IQ Analyzer X. The first time you start IQ Analyzer X, a local database will be created. You can see which database is currently used here in the configuration dialog. So currently the local database is used. We can also work with a remote database based on the ODBC standard. If you already have set up an ODBC database, you can switch in between local and remote database. This is very convenient if you work with a team and want to access the same data, but also have maybe your own database for experimenting or trying out. You can easily access all your data by clicking on Open Analysis. All the data will be sorted by manufacturer and model. You can also use the filter functions to find your desired analysis. In version 1.9 we have a new feature which allows you to create a backup of your local or remote database, including all images. If you started working with a local database, but now you want to switch to a remote database, you can easily transfer all your data using the database migration tool. In IQ Analyzer we have several options to work with video files. Let's start with taking single images from a video. So first we open the Import Video dialog and choose a file. From this file, you see here in the viewer, we can now just take random images somewhere in the video and add them into our import dialog. I captured now 3 images, close it, and you see now the 3 images appear here in the import dialog. Now I can do an automatic detection. So it has correctly detected the TE42, and now I can just import them and do the analysis. It's also possible to capture video or images from a video live stream. Let's go to the Import Video dialog again, and here you find the button Open Video Stream. Click on it, and here we can enter the URI of the video stream we want to open. The video stream will now show up here in the center. Now we can just record a couple of seconds as an example. I stop the recording, and you see that the file shows up here in the file overview on the left side. Now I can just slide through the video I just recorded and take single frames, or I can also define a video range which I want to analyze. This function is very handy if you're working with IP cameras, for example, security cameras. You can also do live measurements from your integrated webcam or any other connected camera. To do so, you need to add an ROI first, adjust the size and place it on the target. Now you can, with the right click, allocate a measurement. There are several kinds of measurements like L, C, H, noise measurement or resolution measurement. Let's take the L value and the standard deviation. Now you can see that both of these metrics are plotted on the right side. We can also measure certain metrics over time in a video. Let's open a video file first. So this is a TE42LL. Let's do a classification first so that the software knows what chart it is. Now we can also do an ROI detection in this case because the software knows what to expect. Now let's take this ROI of a slanted edge and measure the MTF50 value. So this is added already here on the right side. And let's maybe take the L value of this color patch, add it also to our measurement. Now we need to define a range which we want to measure. We can move the slider and define the first position and then the second position, and now the blue marked area will be analyzed over time. I do the import of the video into the software now and start the analysis. Now you can see the measurements here in the plot. I can choose the slanted edge measurement showing me the MTF, and I can also choose the L measurement of the color patch. We can also do a video analysis according to the VCX webcam standard. I opened a video file already, did the chart classification, and I've chosen a measurement. I can choose in between auto exposure and auto white balance. So this is auto white balance, and I already detected the ROIs in the image. So now if I want to see some results in the plots also, currently I need to define what measurements I want to show. Let's take the L value for the G1 patch in the face, and here one of the neutral patches, and select the C value. Now you already see that the measurements show up on the right side, and I can even see something when I just move the slider. Let's import this video now and start the analysis. Okay, this is the results. It took a bit longer because the video is 1 minute and 25 seconds and each frame has to be analyzed. So now you can see the measurements that we've chosen here in the plot. It's the L value and the C value, and we will also have the numerical results down here in the table. If you play the video in the viewer, you will even see the connection in between the plots and what's happening in the video. IQ Analyzer X has some very interesting automation features. Let's check out the hot folder automation first. Go to the Configure menu, choose the Automation tab and the Hot Folders tab. Here we can add a folder which we want to observe. Let's take this folder which is located on my desktop. So all the images we will put into this folder will be now analyzed according to the settings you do down here. So we can define an output if we want to generate an XML, a PDF, or save the analysis automatically in the database. Let's select XML for now. Here you can do the image settings, so define a chart layout or reference file, for example. In the Metadata tab, you can define a name for the analysis, or you can take the name for the analysis from the EXIF data when it's possible. So once you did all the settings, you can switch to the Jobs tab and activate the folder. Now the folder is activated, and once I put this image into the hot folder, you see that it will be processed automatically. And all the results will be saved in a special folder for this image. So here you see the original image, the XML file which is created, and you can also see the check image which shows you all the ROIs which have been detected. Another great way of automation is using the command line interface. Under the Automation tab and the Command Line tab, you find a dialog which helps you to create your first batch file from scratch. To do so, first you need to add media, so video or an image file. After you selected the image, you can assign a chart layout here or do an automatic detection. And you can also assign a reference file. So the other settings you need to do is choose an output format. So now let's take just an export of XML data. And you can assign settings. Let's choose my settings in this example. A PDF template for the report if you've chosen export PDF. And a database if you've chosen save analysis to database. So now the last thing we need to do is write down the name for the analysis. So choose a manufacturer and a model, an analysis name. Let's say it's TE42 LL 2000 lux. And now we create the batch file. I will call it webinar. The batch file has been successfully created. Let's check it out. So this is the batch file we just created, webinar.bat. We can now open the batch file in a text editor like Notepad. You see that all the file names and the commands are written in one row. We can now also execute the batch file with a double click. IQ Analyzer will now be started in the background and will process the image. All the results and also the check images will be stored here in this folder. Now the analysis is finished. We have the XML results. You can use the batch file now to create your own individual solution. With IQ Analyzer X, you can also capture images or videos from a capture server. On this laptop, we started the capture server tool, and we're now streaming the images of the webcam live onto this machine. So here in IQ Analyzer X, I already started the import dialog and pressed on import from network. That will open up the network capture client. Now you will see straight away the image of the other laptop. Now I can record a video. Stop the recording and check under transfer and import if there's something new on the capture server. And now I can download the latest file and add it to my import video module. That's it from my side. Thanks for your attention.
Okay, thank you for your attention. I'm sure you learned something that is helpful for your daily workflow. If you're interested, visit our website, download a free version, and get in touch. Thank you.